Sara Ahmed's The Cultural Politics of Emotion explores how emotions are not just personal feelings inside individuals but are deeply tied to politics, culture, and power. Emotions are not fixed things we have within us, they are shaped by contact, circulation, and repetition. Emotions stick to people, objects, and ideas, and in doing so, they form social relationships and boundaries. For example, when people feel fear, disgust, or love toward others, these emotions do not simply reflect inner states but actively shape how societies understand who belongs and who does not. Emotions help create the surfaces of individual and collective bodies. They give us a sense of identity by attaching us to certain communities while distancing us from others. For example, the idea of a nation is often created through shared feelings, fear of outsiders, pride in belonging, or grief over national tragedies. Saying the nation mourns not only describes a feeling but also creates the sense that the nation is a subject capable of feeling. In this way, emotions build collective identities and reinforce boundaries between insiders and outsiders. The book also examines how emotions are unevenly distributed. Certain groups are stereotyped as too emotional or lacking emotional control, while others are associated with rationality. Women and racial minorities, for instance, are often seen as overly emotional, while men and dominant groups are linked to reason and detachment. This division strengthens hierarchies. Those considered rational are seen as more capable of leadership, while those seen as emotional are dismissed as irrational. This unequal distribution of emotions helps maintain systems of power such as patriarchy, racism, and nationalism. Through several case studies, Ahmed shows how emotions play a central role in public debates and political life. In discussions about asylum seekers in the United Kingdom, fear and hate are used to depict migrants as threats to national security and identity. These emotions circulate in speeches, media reports, and policies, making the figure of the asylum seeker sticky with negative feelings. After events such as September 11, emotions like fear and disgust were mobilized to justify military interventions and stricter security measures. Emotions here are not private reactions but tools that direct action and shape political decisions. Another example Ahmed explores is the politics of reconciliation in Australia, particularly about the treatment of indigenous peoples. Shame plays a central role in debates about whether governments should apologize for past injustices. Expressions of shame may acknowledge wrongdoing but can also cover over deeper wounds, replacing action with words. Love is political. It calls for multiculturalism, often framed diversity as something that must be loved. This love is conditional. Only those fit within certain norms are considered lovable, while others are excluded. Thus, even positive emotions like love and shame can reinforce power structures. Ahmad also discusses feminist and queer politics, showing how emotions are crucial in shaping attachments to social movements. Feminists are often dismissed as too emotional, but Ahmad insists that emotions should not be rejected or hidden in favor of rationality. Instead, emotions are central to political struggle. They move us, bind us to causes, and create solidarity. Queer politics, for instance, revolves reorienting feelings like shame, grief, or love in ways that challenge social norms and open up new possibilities for living together. Rather than seeing emotions as obstacles to reason, Ahmad urges us to recognize them as embodied forms of thought that shape how we relate to the world. Emotions are deeply tied to questions of justice. They reveal histories of oppression and exclusion, but they can also point toward possibilities of healing and transformation. Emotions are not simply personal states but forces that make and remake the world. They tell us who we are, who we are with and who we are against. By studying how emotions circulate and stick, Ahmed shows how power works on and through our feelings and how emotions can both sustain and challenge the social and political structures around us.